Right now at noon, police are looking for the driver of a black SUV who struck a cyclist outside a Joplin Walmart.
And we're watching the moisture increase to our north and west. What impact will that have on our forecast? I'll have the answer in Maine weather.
Plus, Chief fans are gearing up for the start of a new season. We'll have all the details on tonight's big game.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us at KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, Joplin police are looking for the driver of a vehicle who struck a cyclist on East 7th Street Wednesday morning. It happened just before 11 a.m. when an eastbound black SUV struck a man on a bicycle in front of the Walmart neighborhood market near 7th Street and St. Louis Ave. Witnesses say the victim was dragged by the SUV for about 50 feet. EMS transported the rider to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Joplin police say the person suffered a broken leg. If you have any information or saw the crash, please contact JPD. And in another hit and run, one woman has died from injuries she suffered from a hit and run driver while changing a tire in northeast Oklahoma. The collision happened around 9 Labor Day evening, 2 miles east of Grove, Oklahoma. Troopers say 2 women were changing a flat tire when they were struck by a passing vehicle. The suspect vehicle continued westbound and is unknown at this time. One woman, Angela McAnnis, has since died due to her injuries. The other woman, Chandra Gardent, was transported to a local hospital in guarded condition with multiple injuries. And we have an update on the deadly crash involving 3 motorcycles in Joplin Saturday evening. 18-year-old Colton Goddard of Welch, Oklahoma yesterday pled not guilty to charges of resisting arrest by fleeing and operating a vehicle in a careless manner. Authorities say Goddard and 20-year-old Taryn Morris of Miami were driving motorcycles at 80 to 100 miles per hour on North Main Street in Joplin Saturday night. Police say even after they abandoned a chase, the 2 continued speeding away, running multiple red lights. Their motorcycles crashed with another motorcycle driven by 6-year-old Mark McGowan of Miami, Oklahoma, as McGowan was driving out of a convenience store parking lot. Morris and McGowan have both died in the crash. And now let's take it over to Sam Lane for a look at your forecast.
All right, thank you very much, Caitlin. It's been a beautiful morning across the area, a little bit on the warm side, but that's typical for this time of year. We're starting to see increasing moisture up towards the north and west, and we're watching that as it's going to be moving in our direction as we head into the overnight hours. Radar right now is all clear, but there are some storms down in southern Arkansas that are currently severe at the current time, and we're going to be looking at the forecast a little bit later in more detail, so of course you'll want to stick around for that.
All right, well, the Joplin Police Department would like to formally invite the general public to the Officer Jake Reed Memorial Bridge dedication ceremony. The ceremony will be held on Tuesday, September 12th at 4:30 p.m. and will be held on the west side of 20th Street Bridge. On March 8th last year, Officer Jake Reed fell in the line of duty after attempting to arrest a suspect who was involved in an attempted theft near 4th and Geneva Avenue. The bridge will be a memorial of his selfless service and sacrifice. The old Joplin Library on Main Street has a new owner and they have some big plans. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The Creative Learning Alliance sees a future in the empty old library. They hope this empty space will soon become a space of learning and fun.
Those are going to come with money, with a price tag attached. So we're working on our capital campaign so that we can make some of those a reality. But everything will be hands-on. Everything will be learning, and everything, most importantly, will be fun, because that's the job of childhood, is fun.
As the new owners, the Creative Learning Alliance plans to build an interactive science center. Once built, they're expecting to attract more than 80,000 curious minds.
It is right in the heart of downtown Joplin. It's got high visibility. It's a big open space, so we can build our science center the way we want it within these walls without having to do as much as you might have to in a building with more walls than this.
This building has been here for a number of years now, and we wanted something positive to happen, and today something positive is happening.
Multiple organizations were interested in buying and remodeling the old library, but most negotiations fell through. Now, with the new ownership under the Creative Learning Alliance,
that's a burden off of the taxpayer.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
As of now, the Creative Alliance says they hope the Science Center will be running by 2025. but it depends on donations and grants. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Kansas City Chiefs kick off their 2023 season versus the Detroit Lions. We see how some fans are preparing for the big game. And later, we're making pull-apart salad bread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. Love for the Chiefs isn't just confined to Kansas City residents. We in the 4 states know the borders of the kingdom extend far and wide. But as Greg Payne reports, one man in Kansas City may have taken Chiefs devotion to a whole new level.
Everywhere you look, Chiefs pride is taking over the KC Metro, which can only mean one thing. Chiefs Kingdom is gearing up for the start of a new season.
I hope we just win another Super Bowl, man. I like the team. I like everything. We just got to sign Chris Jones.
I am looking forward to seeing Patrick Mahomes play.
Oh, I'm looking for Patrick Mahomes throw a dot, you know, right on the money.
Watching Patrick Mahomes do more of everything that he does.
You got the headband and, you know, the hair.
For Chiefs fan Jeff Parson, it's the start of his own season as well, making new enormous paintings of everything Chiefs and showcasing them in his front yard.
For the next, hopefully 18 games, there'll be all Chiefs. Hopefully until February.
Currently, his yard is just showcasing Bigfoot, but by the time the Chiefs season ends, he plans to have the yard filled with new Chiefs art, featuring special moments from each week, like this work in progress, of Mahomes stretching for the goal line in last year's game against Seattle.
Yard line, though, boom! And it's like, yeah, we're putting that on a sign this year. It amazes me. I've been doing this for about 4 years now, and people will come to me and they'll say, you know what, this has become a tradition in our house. Before the game, we'll come and pay our respects, or we'll take our picture in front of your artwork. And that's what I want. That's what I want, that sense of community. And that's what the Chiefs have done, and that's the way they brought this particular team has done for us.
Jeff hopes by the end of this season, there will be a large Lombardi in the front yard for the Chiefs repeat.
The Chiefs kick off their 2023 season tonight against the Detroit Lions. And what do Hunter Biden and former President Trump have in common? Their legal troubles never seem to end, and that could have a big impact on the next presidential race. Fox News correspondent Madeline Riviera has more from Washington.
Hunter Biden could be indicted before the end of the month in a gun case. It's a stunning reversal from a deal that Hunter and federal prosecutors had previously reached. That agreement fell apart in July after a judge raised questions about it.
What changed? Not the facts, not the law, but we have seen over the last 6 weeks, the politics have certainly influenced the outcome.
Legal experts say an indictment would pose a problem not only for Hunter. The presentation of evidence could also be potentially risky for his father, President Biden, as he runs for re-election.
To the extent there's something being hidden here about this alleged sweetheart deal, it's going to be made public in a way that would not otherwise be.
Former President Trump, the GOP presidential primary frontrunner, is tackling his own set of troubles. In Colorado, a group of 6 Republican and unaffiliated voters filed a lawsuit to remove Trump from the ballot. They're accusing him of violating the Constitution by inciting a mob to attack the Capitol on January 6.
It's a very, very preposterous legal theory in terms of keeping Donald Trump off the ballot. We have to remember that Donald Trump has not been charged with any sort of insurrection or rebellion.
In Atlanta, Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is pushing back on similar efforts to bar Trump from the ballot. Raffensperger writes in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, "The American people will make their own decisions."
Prosecutors in Georgia say the election interference trial against 19 defendants, including Trump, could take 4 months. But the judge says the timeline could easily be twice that.
Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
And we're going to be looking to see what's cooking in the weather as far as that goes, and maybe some showers, and we'll have the details when we come back. Well, we have a lot of smoky sunshine out there right now with the haze, with the smoke from the wildfires in Canada starting to move across our area this afternoon. Let's take a look outside right now at Seneca, Missouri, the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. A little bit clearer down there in southwest Missouri and right on the border of Oklahoma and Missouri, just outside of Seneca. and it's the beautiful blue skies for the most part, but we do have a little bit of hazy conditions. Right now in Joplin, we're 81 degrees. The wind is out of the northeast at 3 miles an hour, and the humidity is at 38%. And you can see the visibility is reduced right now because of the haze. Right now, radar is all clear, but that's going to be changing over the next, let's say 12 to 24 hours as we have a system dropping down from the north. But right now, temperatures are not that bad. Generally in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Check out Stockton right now. They're still sitting at 78, 81 in Yates Center, but it's already up to 84 in Sedan, 85 in Nowata, so it's a little bit toastier down to the south and west. And the dew points, that's what's been the difference. When dew points are in the 50s, it feels a lot more comfortable out there. Check out Iola. They're down to 48 right now, but we're starting to see some mid-60s starting to show up. And on the dew point tracker, that's getting close to sticky, but for the most part, it's still refreshing to not too bad out there. And when you factor in the dew point and the temperature together, this is what it feels like right now. It feels like 91 in Sedan, 90 in Nowata, so it is getting a little bit warmer out there, or at least feeling that way. Still feels like in the mid-80s up towards the north and east. And tomorrow, we're going to start to see temperatures feeling like in the mid-80s in the afternoon across the metro area, closer to 90 out towards the south and west. Rain chances, as I mentioned, are going to be going up as we go through the evening, especially after midnight. So from about midnight to about 9 a.m., that's when the best chance of precipitation is going to be, especially in northeastern Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas. We have a little wave moving in from the north and west, and as that drops down tonight, that's when we're going to see the scattered showers and storms developing across our area. Then that will move away to the south and east, and over the weekend, this ridge of high pressure is going to be building back in, and we're going to be in a northwest flow pattern, which is generally a dry direction at this time of year. Although if we get these little pieces of energy rotating around it, we can get thunderstorms, especially in the overnight hours. Rainfall amounts in some of these thunderstorms tonight could be on the heavy side. This would be great if it actually verified. 1 inch in Parsons, half an inch in Columbus. So some areas could approach 1 inch of rainfall in isolated spots. Most areas are going to be generally less than half an inch, and folks up to the north and east, hardly a drop, unfortunately. So it's not going to be for everybody tonight, but at least some folks will see some precipitation tonight. This afternoon, we're going to see temperatures rising into the 80s and some lower 90s, especially out to the west, where it's already approaching 90, 94 in Sedan, 92 in Eureka, 93 in Independence, and a little bit cooler off to the east, Osceola, with a high of 85 this afternoon. Then you can see the showers and thunderstorms tonight into the morning hours, and by 7:30, we'll still see a smattering of some scattered showers with lows in the mid-60s. And again, that's going to be moving to the south as the morning progresses. And then in the afternoon, highs will be in the mid-80s up to the north and east, low 90s out towards the west, and a little bit steamier, especially with those scattered showers in the morning, will make it feel a little bit more humid out there. Then on Saturday morning, we're going to see lows in the 50s to the north and east, 60s elsewhere. And then on Saturday afternoon, just a few floating clouds passing by with highs in the low mid 80s. And then on Sunday morning, we're going to see lows pretty much in the 50s across the entire area with dry conditions. Over the next 7 days, here's the forecast. Showers and storms late tonight and tomorrow morning. Then drier for Saturday and Sunday with highs in the mid 80s. And then look at that. Early next week with temperatures in the 70s for highs with scattered storms on Monday and Tuesday. And then we dry out a little bit on Wednesday and more showers on Thursday, but highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s and lows in the 50s. So it's starting to look a little bit more like fall on the forecast, and I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely. You can definitely see the range coming in there.
Yep.
One day it's sunny, then we get the waterworks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
definitely very fall-esque.
Absolutely.
Well, stick around. We're making pull-apart salad bread in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. It's time to check in with Howard and the Mr. Food Kitchen staff. Today he's making a savory monkey bread style recipe that's studded with tasty veggies and surrounded with all sorts of salad fixins. It's called pull-apart salad bread. Take a look.
You know, I really have to hand it to Patty, who heads up our test kitchen. She recently came up with a new twist on monkey bread that's pretty incredible. As you know, monkey bread is usually a sweet pull-apart bread that's great for breakfast or brunch. Well, Patty broke all the rules and created a savory version that's studded with veggies. Like with all other monkey breads, we start by cutting dough into pieces. Next, we put them in a bowl and toss them with some melted butter, along with a packet of ranch dressing mix. To that, we add some chopped sun-dried tomatoes, sliced black olives, a handful of scallions, and a generous amount of shredded mozzarella cheese. Once it's tossed, we place it in a greased bun pan. This goes into the oven for about 40 minutes or until the dough is set and the outside is golden. After it cools slightly, invert it onto a platter and surround it with all sorts of salad fixings to make it even more special. To get this fun to make and fun to eat recipe for what we call pull-apart salad bread, simply visit our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found baked from the garden way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. You don't stop eating, do ya?
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4-state market prices.
All right, we've got showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for tonight and tomorrow morning, and then drier for the weekend, but more scattered storms early next week with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. Another chance of showers on Thursday morning, only a 20% chance, and then drier after that. But at least we're looking more like fall in our forecast instead of summer.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to that. And coming up tonight at 5, much of the country is trying to stay cool in the middle of a heat wave. Children are one that can be the most vulnerable. We'll have more on how to keep kids safe when the temperatures are soaring. Plus, Parsons Police Department shuts down an illegal animal rescue. And love for the Kansas City Chiefs will meet a few diehard fans excited for tonight's game. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that'll do it for today's news. Thank you for joining us for the KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.